We spend like $200K in ads in Facebook.
Are you creating brand new ads, or are you taking stuff that you knew worked organically and amplifying it with ads?
I got really sick with asthma. I remember I was 7 months pregnant and Jeffy was away. It was Christmas time and I got this really bad asthma attack. I almost died. I hear clearly the guy spoke to me and said, "You are going to die tonight." And soon enough, we lost all our money. We went from being really rich to be poor, like zero.
How did you go from there over to becoming this huge influencer?
I think this is the biggest mistake people make with their accounts, and this is why their accounts don't grow.
You're watching Marketing Misfits with Norm Farrar and Kevin King.
Mr. Farrar, what's up? ¿Qué pasó?
Hey, how's it going? I can't wait. I'm going to be down.
¿Qué pasó? Whichever way you're supposed to say it. I'm not.
I don't even think that's
say it both. One of them's more formal. One of them's, I think, less.
I think one means you want to sleep with me. I'm not sure.
I think that's the K-tall.
Okay. So I'm going to be down in your neck of the woods in a couple of days.
Yeah, I'm preparing the troops. I'm filling up the bunker with Coke Zeros. And,
good.
Gummies
there we go.
Test treats, cookies, and
no dog ice cream.
No dog ice cream.
Oh,
no.
Guess what? Connie got this yogurt with, I don't know what it was, banana and spirulina. So it's blue. So I'm looking through. It almost happened again. I took it out and it didn't automatically say dog yogurt. It looked and it looked good. It wasn't like yours, which was ground meat.
Oh, you just got to grow you a tail so you can wag it.
Yeah.
With all this dog ice cream that you've been eating. Speaking of eating though, our guest today is a master when it comes to fitness and eating and health. She's been through quite a bit. I know her from the Driven Mastermind, and she's been in there longer than me. I don't know how long she's actually been in, but she's always got a lot of really cool stuff. She's really good at social. She's got a huge social media following, so it'll be interesting to talk to her about some of that. And then she's out there changing lives and doing a lot of cool stuff. And she's Colombian, even though, so I always have even though my ex was Colombian, I have an affinity for smart Latin women that are successful. So she's always got a head start in my book. But she's an amazing person and done a lot of really cool stuff. I think this is going to be an interesting episode. And she's like just 21. I mean, so it's amazing. I mean, what she's done in like a short period of time since coming to America.
What you mean, Kevin, is I don't have a chance.
You don't have a chance to say anything today. You're just going to be in the background. You're just go get you some dog ice cream and just come back there and enjoy yourself for a little while.
All right.
Yeah, you don't have a chance. Exactly.
All right. So let's bring on our guest today.
It's Ingrid Macher.
Hello, Ingrid.
Hey!
¿Cómo está?
I really love the part that you say that I'm 21. And I think we have to multiply for like 2, maybe with 10 years more.
No. You can't be a day over 21. I saw you having your first drink when you turned 21, so you can be.
Yes.
I don't know, something about that. Something about Latin women, Latin and Asian women. They never age. You don't see. As they add on the years, they still look young, which is, I don't know what that is.
Well, I think more with Latin women, it's all about, like, we grow in our house always thinking about we need to be beautiful, we need to do our hair, put on makeup, especially when you marry. I remember our moms always say, you have to stay pretty. It's not your husband is going to go look in some other places.
Well, that's
I think
Colombia. Not every. This is probably not a fair statement, but most men have a girlfriend. Most married men have a woman on the side or two. That's amazing. When I went down I experienced that for the first time, I think, in Panama. It's not just Colombia; it's a Latin thing, and there's all these little hotels. I had a tour guide that was taking me around like a private guide, and he's like, we're passing these little like hotels, and like we're like, by the hour you can rent these things, and I'm like, what is this? He's like, oh, that's for your girl on the side. He's like, girl on the side? He's like, yeah, everybody's got a girl on the side. And then when I married a Colombian from Cartagena, so I was down there. I've been down to Colombia probably 20, 25 times, and just the culture. I love the culture, but she always used to tell me I'm going with a gringo because I don't like this Latin, I can't trust a Latin guy. And it was amazing how many guys, even when I was with her, I'd go out, to run some errands, and the taxi guy would be like, hey, you want to, try to hook me up with somebody. But it also amazed me how in America, we have this culture where we kind of frown upon beauty in some ways. I mean, we have the Miss America pageant, we have all that stuff, but there's almost a rebellion against pretty models in ads or something like, be yourself, show the diversity. But in Colombia, there's the Miss Colombia pageant that's like in November, I think in Cartagena, is like the Super Bowl. It's like, it's on all the TV. It's as popular as the Super Bowl in the United States. And it always just amazed me, like, man. And you see the young girls, like you said, 4, 5, 6 years old, starting to wear makeup and starting to look good. And image is an important thing in that culture for women.
And I think what it is also is me as be one of the younger members in my family, because we were 2 daughters. And I grew up in a family with everybody was like, okay, it's normal to be overweight. It's normal to overeating. It's normal. It's culture, right? We say we're coming to the fried culture or whatever. But to me, it was something different because I came to America. I married a gringo, as you say. And the first thing I wanted to broke for the change on my family, it was that. I wanted to be different. I wanted to leave a legacy to my kids and to the next generations. Like, we're going to be a healthy family and we are going to really truly believe to work in longevity. More than the beauty, work in longevity. Have a healthy lifestyle in life so we can enjoy what God given us, right? The amazing opportunities to be every single day alive and have a good health. So I think the biggest thing for me when I married Jeff, more than just try to be beautiful so no one can take my husband away, it's like I can actually live a longer life so I can enjoy this man and the life that God gave us together.
So before we go anywhere else, we jumped right into this. But in case nobody knows who you are, Ingrid, can you give us a bit of a background and let us know why you're a misfit?
Well, I came from Colombia when I was 19, like every single, immigrant. I wanted the American dream. So I say, I'm going to go to America and they're going to hand me a house and a car and 2 golden retrievers. And, I came here and it was a completely different story. I went for get married. My first marriage, it was when I was 19 in
In
Puerto
Puerto Rico.
Rico. Yes. I was like, okay, I'm going to marry this man. I'm going to have my green card. And then I'm going to go to have the future that I always dreamed when I was little. And, I got pregnant with my oldest daughter. I have a daughter that's 30. So life went a little bumpy from that point because even as I went to school and graduated as a summa cum laude in communications, well, I never got the practice really. My dream it was be this amazing reporter and travel the world or be this amazing host for a TV show. No, I was just like, doing 3, 4 jobs, try to survive as a single mother. I moved to Miami after I divorced my ex-husband because I got my green card and I say, you know what? Even as I have a baby, I had a mission. I wanted to be famous and I wanted to really get the purpose that God gave me. So I was like, this man is not going to do it for me. So I need to go on my own path. And I was a single mother for 7 years, doing jobs that I would never imagine doing in my life, because in my house, at least I had a lady that cleaned the house. But in here, I was like, cleaning bathrooms and washing dishes, doing all the jobs that nobody want to do just to try to survive. And I was in the club industry for like 7 years until I met the love of my life. I always say that Jeffrey was my angel, right? Because when I married him, I was 4 years older than him. I was divorced. I had a kid and I was broke. He was younger, single, rich, never been married. So that was like the perfect fit for me, right? But we got in love, we got married, and after 2 years of being married, we lose everything. And I was like, oh no, what is this happening? And also, I always tell people that when you get in love, you get fat. I don't know why. You
Norm.
know,
I'm really in love.
I gained like 50 pounds. Over 50 pounds. And, before I was having all these jobs and I was worried they're being like fit and all this stuff. But when I married him, I was like, I already have the prince. And then he gave me the golden retrievers, the house, the cars. I was like, yes, my American drink. But after those 2 years that I was overweight and I got pregnant with my daughter Mia, my second child. I got really sick with asthma. And I remember I was 7 months pregnant and Jeffy was away. It was Christmas time. And I got this really bad asthma attack. I almost died. I thought that night I was going to die. I hear clearly that night the guy spoke to me and said, you are going to die tonight. And I actually got it like a really freaking out. And I was like, God, please don't let me die. To I say goodbye to my husband and to I say goodbye to my older daughter. And Jeff came, took me to the emergency room. They actually revived me because I was like dead.
Wow.
And I was like we always say, this time not going to be good. I promised to God I was going to change. And, when you had money, you say, okay, I had the medicines, I had the doctors, get back to the old habits. And soon enough, we lost all our money. So we went from being really rich to be poor, like
Now,
zero.
was that based on a business
Finan-
decision or
Real
how
estate
did
go
that
out.
happen?
Real
No, it
estate.
was in 2008 when everybody lose all their
okay.
money.
You're in
Okay.
Vegas then, right? That was one of the big hit areas, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it was a new beginning for us because to me, I see that situation as an opportunity. I remember, what do you do when you lose all your money? Before you are successful, you lose your money and you have to start over. You start hanging out with the wrong people. You start drinking, drugs, things like that. And I remember it was January 3rd. And one of those friends that you call friends post a picture of me in Facebook. The worst picture ever. I'm like drawn, like looking like crazy, overweight. And when I saw that picture, I really, I was in shock. It really made me go into a breakdown. And I remember that day, I cry. And then to the end of the day, I went on my knees and I said to God, I surrendered. I can't do this on my own. I'm going to do whatever it takes to be happy, to be healthy, to live the life that you want me to live for you, not for me. But don't take my life away, because I remember that day I started getting again an asthma attack. And after I lived that traumatic experience when I was pregnant, I was freaking out because, we had no money, no access to medicine, no access to doctors. It's like you have to start over. And clearly, I remember God said to me, you need to recover your health first. And that's how my story started. I went for 90 days. I went crazy that day. I cleaned the whole cabinets, the whole house. I told Jeff, we're going to change our lives. I'm going to lose this weight. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we're going to do it. And he's like, okay, okay. The first day he was like, yes, yes. But he was in shock because I was throwing everything out. I stopped drinking for almost a year. And I went for 90 days, lose 50 pounds, and find my real passion in fitness, wellness, nutrition. And that's how my story started. That's how Adelgaza 20, which is the name of my blog in Spanish, born, you know? And I remember all my friends, they were like, what do you do? Because I look like a freaking bodybuilder. I had like abs for the first time in my life. My skin, it was amazing. I looked beautiful in 90 days. And people, they'll start asking me, what did you do? Tell me. And I remember in that time, it was like not many Latinos having courses or books. Everything, it was, the big time for Juliana Michaels and The Biggest Loser and all that stuff. So that's how my story born. And lucky for me, I had a husband, he was in marketing. He knows how to, use the internet and how to create programs and things like that. So that's how our business actually born 14 years ago.
Hey, Norm, you'll love this, man. I talked to a seller the other day doing $50K a month. But when I asked them what their actual profit was, they just kind of stared at me.
Are you serious? That's kind of like driving blindfolded.
Exactly, man. I told them, you got to check out Sellerboard, this cool profit tool that's built just for Amazon sellers. It tracks everything like fees, PPC, refunds, promos, even changing COGS during using FIFO.
Aha, but does it do FBM shipping costs too?
Sure does. That way you can keep your quarter four chaos totally under control and know your numbers, because not only does it do that, but it makes your PPC bids, it forecasts inventory, it sends review requests, and even helps you get reimbursements from Amazon.
Now that's like having a CFO in your back pocket.
You know what? It's just $15 a month. But you got to go to sellerboard.com/misfits, sellerboard.com/misfits. And if you do that, they'll even throw in a free 2-month trial.
So you want me to say, go to sellerboard.com/misfits and get your numbers straight before your accountant loses it?
Exactly.
All right.
So the 90 days, a lot of people will say 50 pounds in 90 days is too fast. And everybody wants quick results. So that's definitely appealing to people. Like, how'd you do it? I want to do it too. But a lot of people say that's too fast, but you do a combination of eating and diet and exercise. And what was your routine to actually do that? Because you see, like you said, you mentioned The Biggest Loser, and that was like, it was intense, over the top. And a lot of people don't hold that. You can lose it by not eating or by going crazy. You can definitely do that, but then maintaining it, it's a mindset shift. Otherwise, you just fall back into the same habits and the same things again, because you deprave yourself. So what did you do to actually maintain that for 14 years?
I think my first thing that I did, and I think what people don't realize, is you've been eating bad for a long time. I remember in that time, and don't take this personal, I used to be addicted to Diet Coke. Actually,
Well,
Jeff.
I'm not taking it personal.
We're not
this is
addicted to Diet
Coke
Coke.
Zero. It's
Coke.
much different.
And Jeff made me addicted to sodas. I never used to drink sodas, even as I was Colombian. I never used to drink soda. I never used to eat like fast food. We always like homemade food or things like that. And also, when we got married, I started exploring the work real estate. So I started drinking coffee like crazy. So coffee and bunch of stuff. I think when I made it that decision that day, I had a book in my table that my dad gave me from Joe Austin,
Mm-hmm.
and it called "You Best Lie Now." It's a 90-day devotional. So as Kevin say, many people don't keep the results or maybe say, "Oh, that was too fast." I did simple things. I start drinking water. Just by the first week drinking the coffee and the soda, I was 5 pounds down.
Just by
Just by
switching to
that.
water.
Because that
I
retains
just
weight, right? The
by
soda.
just drinking water. And then by putting all the fast food and all these garbage food in the trash and start cooking at home and do it with intention. So I was like, okay, what about is I change and I didn't know how to any knowledge in nutrition. But I was like, what about is I stop eating regular rice and just put brown rice? What about if I start eating more vegetables? What about if instead they eating like little granola bars or cereals for breakfast, I just start eating eggs and oatmeal? My body was so grateful. I think that for a long time, start giving it nutrients and real nutrition, the it was responding like this fast. And I have like that experience in these days with my clients. When I take clients, I don't know, I think God gave me this superpower, but I have the power to make impossible case to be possible. You know, I think people that come to me and say, I never lose a pound. And when I start just going doing, okay, because I have a system, right? First thing is detox. And when I say detox, I had this strategy that worked fantastic. It's greens and juicing and combinations or ingredients that are really fun to do it. But it's kind of shocking for people because it's like, wow, I never drink a green juice, and I don't even know a green juice can taste good. Or I never eat so many salads or so many soups or whatever. And then when they go in the scale the first week, it's like, oh, shoot, I'm like 10, 12 pounds down. They even getting shot, even if they are not really overweight. But it's just a factor that if you start giving to your body nutrients, your body is grateful. And the second thing is like, I wish my mom could have teach me in a young age, hey, take weights, or do some cardio or do some exercise. No. I remember when I was little, I was playing basketball with my uncles or football or, in the streets. Like in South America, when you go in the streets, you see the kids like running around and things like that. But we don't really, now it's different. But really, I never had that mentality, hey, go to the gym. So I remember since we were like, I would say in a bad shape economically, it was a little gym by my house, one of those women gyms that they cost like $15 a month. The ones that they try to get a lot of people, to register, but people never go. So I was like, okay, I start doing classes for the first time in my life. And I got so into to the classes that I think all those factors help. And in another side, I was doing the devotional. So I was changing different things. I was changing my nutrition. I was moving, you know, and I was feeding my mind and my spirit with good stuff. And I think that really helped. And I believe in something. When you have the ability to imagine, to visualize yourself, how you can be, and if you do several things and you see it, it happens. Because I remember I live in this very, very high community in Vegas with all the ladies that were putting these true religions. Remember those jeans, true religions, that it
Yeah.
was really famous? all the blondies in California had it and all this. Man, those jeans never passed my freaking tights. And I was like frustrated. I was like, I was like, Jeff, I need to buy a pair of jeans. And Jeff is like, Ingrid, but they don't fit you. I don't care. I'm going to buy it size 26. I had the jeans, still keeping the jeans with me. Because the jeans actually remind me how I start this journey. So I think all those things, even if I don't have any knowledge, help me to go for those 90 days and it actually hold me accountable into these days. It's been an up and downs. I cannot say I never went through to the wanted to eat bad food or things like that because I'm now in menopause. And can you guys say bad words in here or no?
Go ahead. Kevin
Go
does all the
ahead.
time.
Menopause is a bitch. You know? It was like one day I wake up and I had a 27 pounds off. I'm like, how this happened? I'm eating good, I'm exercising like a crazy machine, I'm drinking a lot of water, and even sleeping well. I did not understood what happened. And I wanted to bring that because it's interesting. I don't know if you guys feel notice now it's a big movement about menopause,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how this movement start? Because the influencers in my age, I start really late. I start being an influencer at 40, almost 38, 40, right? It's when Instagram born.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first time in history the women are rebellions and say, I have flashes. I hate my husband. I refuse to put the freaking pajamas and get the hairs like crazy. I want to still younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is why Oprah Winfrey made this big movement. And this is why women, our daughters, they're going to be safe because now we're talking about this. So, yeah, so I'm passing different seasons in my life that yes, even if the freaking pounds try to go back, and is still learning and keeping in my mind what is the road to be healthy and what I wanted to be remembered for.
What's mental is what a lot of people don't realize, I think, is losing weight is psychology more than it is exercise or even what you put in your mouth. I mean, what you put in your mouth makes a big difference, but it's the psychology of it that actually is the most important thing, and changing that psychology and not depriving yourself and figuring out alternatives to, if you've got a sweet tooth, then finding something you can switch to that's much more healthy or whatever. And that's where a lot of the magic happens. But one of the question I have is that's something that you accomplished, I think, and not knowing exactly, like you said, you weren't trained in this. I know you've gone to school for it since then, but you weren't trained in, you just kind of did that psychologically. And I think that's one of the reasons it works. But one of the other things I know a lot of people are thinking is, if you lose weight that fast, what about stretch marks in your skin? Because your body typically, to lose 50 pounds in 90 days is 3.5 pounds a week, basically. And they say like a half a pound to a pound a week is the best to keep your skin from like having stretch marks and being loose and stuff. What did you do to help prevent that?
So that's why you have to do it with somebody that can help you
Mm-hmm.
to work on your nutrition around and actually exercising. The combination of, the amount of protein that you feed your body with the amount of resistant weight
Mm-hmm.
that you do in your body. As you see, it's not that crazy. 3.5 pounds is not that much. I mean, if I eat a side of pizza right now in his life, I get 3.5 pounds off fast. I'm not worried about the stretch marks, But I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned is two things first. One can be genetics.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a good genetics, you never get, I don't have any stretch marks, thank God, right? But I have clients they have a stretch marks, even if they go to the gym, even if they eat right. That's just genetics, right? The way how the skin goes in this process. But the second thing is the right thing to do. Even with is we bring it out the modern methods, the Ozempic, the Monjaro, all the injections they are circulating, the bariatric surgeries, right?
Hmm.
Ones versus others. It's the same thing. When a person goes through a bariatric surgery, they lose the weight fast. And most of them, they had to go into surgery because of the skin and all that
Yeah.
stuff. The same
Cosmetic
thing
surgery.
happened with the injections, right? Because what these injections do, they eat your muscle, right? But the difference in between a person that actually they can lose weight fast, but they can do it in a smart way is if you have a coach to go with you and help you to actually go through the process correctly. I have friends that do this bariatric surgery, and you know what? If you can lose the weight in your own because really you don't have a willpower, you don't have a commitment, you don't love yourself, I don't know. Whatever is your reason that you can commit to stay in the road and you need to use a bariatric surgery or you need to use a Monjaro, why not? Right? But is you gonna do that, you have to get in your size the tools. You have to have a good nutritionist. You have to have a good trainer. And also, you have to have a good therapist. Some people cannot handle the change. I don't know if you guys hear about this or not, but I remember when I was losing weight, my mom is like, you need to eat an empanada or a pan or bread because you are looking horrible. And I was only 10 pounds down. You're gonna disappear, right? Because we always gonna have that people around
Hmm.
that is gonna make sure you can succeed. So you not only have to fight with your mind, but you have to fight with the friends, with the family, with the spouse. I remember Jeff. After 3 weeks, I was like so good, and Jeff is like, "You're not fun anymore. You don't want to drink wine. You don't want to go out to eat." Like, I'm sorry, but I don't. I feel amazing. I was like every day getting out with more energy. I was looking myself to the mirror. I was like, yes. So I think it's different factors, but as you do it the right way, and thank God because as soon as people start asking me and I make that decision to be in the wellness space, thanks to the Lord, I've been very successful. I've been recognized like as one of the most important figures in the Hispanic community around the world. Um, I
You've written
decided,
4 books, right? Done
huh?
4 book. You've done 4 books.
I done seven.
Oh, 7.
I'm in my seventh book right now. This is my last one.
How many in English and how many in
It's
Spanish?
about menopause, by the way.
Oh, the
I only have one book in English, and the rest I have six books in Spanish. Uh, six of the books are five of the books are about nutrition, and one of the books is a Christian book. It's a devotional.
So one of the things I'm curious about is you've got the mindset, you've rebuilt your life. How did you go from there over to becoming this huge influencer?
Everything is started because Jeff is like, we have this little money, and I have to figure it out how I'm gonna support the family because he lose all his money, his business, and he took me to a conference. Did you guys remember ClickBank?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he took me to a conference in New York, and I years ago, and when I went there, we went to find a copywriting for the business that he was doing in that time, and as me, I'm always a butterfly, making friends. So I'm talking to this copywriter. I'm like, hey, I lost 50 pounds in 90 days, and he's like, and I start telling him my story. So he took me by my hand and he take me to the big rooms with it was Isabella de los Rios, it was Ben Johnson, it was bunch of people, Mike Gary, it was bunch of people that doing infoprodukts. And and I was like fascinated. I was like, I want to buy that. I want to buy that. He's like, no, I'm not bringing you here to buy that. I'm bringing you here to open your mind to tell you that you have $1 million product. What's your story? And fitness. And I was like, me? I'm not a nutritionist. He's like, you don't have to be a nutritionist. You can just tell people what you did and make some exercises and put a product together and sell it. It's $1 billion industry. So I was like, Jeff, he said, Vince, it was the name of that guy. He used to be Vince Montella. I think he was a copywriter. I was like, Jeff, Vince said that I have $1 million product in fitness. And Jeff looked at me and he laughed on my face. He's like, ah. And Vince is like, yeah, it's $1 billion industry. So immediately he calls Jeff attention. He's like, what? So how did we do that? So we realized it was many of these info products in English and they were translated to Spanish, but it was nobody in Spanish doing info products for women. So we find like our blue ocean. So it was like, ta-da! You know, when you have this aha moment, boom. So I remember the first product, this is how I got into the info product industry, the fitness, or whatever. So I said to Jeff, is I'm going to start teaching these people, I need to go to school. But I was very smart. And the same time I was going to school, I was teaching people. Every time that I learned in the school, because I went to, first of all, I went to a holistic school. I was already had my degree in communication, so I knew how to communicate, but I don't know anything about nutrition. So I was like, okay, I need to get my hands in all these books and I need to read, I need to learn, and I need to study. So I started studying holistic nutrition and I started teaching people. I remember when I opened my fan page, Adelgaza 20, I think by history, we were the first fan page in Spanish in fitness. So my first post, by the end of the day, I had 65,000 followers, fans. I was like, wow, it's one day. And I already, obviously, I roll the thing wrong. I say, oh, take a little spoon of flax seeds. And by the end of the day, everybody was correcting me. Oh, your grammar is so bad. Who cares? That's how I know. That's how I got introduced to the
This is
haters.
in Spanish or in English?
Spanish. So this is how I got introduced to the haters, to the fans. This is how I start my
This is on
influencer thing.
MySpace, Facebook, or
No, it
what?
wasn't Facebook.
Facebook, okay.
By 3 months, I was already at 1 million fans. So I was like, wow. You know,
Naturally, or were you, it was just naturally growing, or were you doing
no,
something
it
to
was just
help?
organic.
All
So I was
organic.
like share all this stuff that I was learning in this holistic school, holistic nutrition, INN, I remember, and nobody was talking about this stuff. So it was like weird stuff that people they were like, oh, what? You know, it was weird. It was like a new thing. It was like somebody was this housewife, they lose 50 pounds in 90 days. And Jeff having all this knowledge about marketing. So we were doing like the little ebooks, you know, the tricky stuff to get emails. So we got like 2 million emails ready for like launching our first info product. And in the year, because it took me a year to write the first info product, in that year we were affiliate for the gringos, you know, with the courses in Spanish. So we were selling like crazy. We made our first million selling the products, affiliate products. This is how everything born. Now we take like months, days. Now actually we sell the thing and then we start building the course after that. You know, but before that was this is how I started in this industry. It was not intentionally for me to be an influencer, but I was growing and growing and growing. And my Facebook page now is almost at 20 million. And I was growing English too. 1.4, I think I had. But my English, it was really funny. So people was just making fun of me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to concentrate here in this little niche that nobody's paying attention. I can call myself as a pioneer in the wellness space, and info products and fitness and nutrition, because I was the first one taking the strategies for the gringos and put it in the Spanish market and actually monetizing them.
Are you looking to quickly boost new Amazon product launches or scale up existing listings to reach first page positioning? The influencer platform Stack Influence can help.
That's right. Stack Influence pushes high volume external traffic, sales straight to Amazon listings using micro influencers that you only have to pay with your products.
They've helped up-and-coming brands like Magic Spoon compete with Cheerios for top category positioning, while also helping Fortune 500 brands like Unilever launch their new products.
Right now is one of the best times to get started with Stack Influence. You can sign up at stackinfluence.com or click the link in this video down in the description or notes below and mention Misfits, that's MISFITS, to get 10% off your first campaign. stackinfluence.com.
So I think that's the big lesson there, is to actually look where there's where something's working in one market and there's a whole gap in another market. And that's basically, you stepped into that gap and not intentionally, but then when you realized it, like you said, your husband helped you double down on it to capture all the leads and everything. That's, I think, huge. Is that audience? Is that mostly U.S. or because there's roughly 60 million people that speak Spanish in the United States at home, or is that also all of Latin America? Is your reach like all
It's
the way
global.
down? It's global. Okay.
It was a time in our life that we used to reach 400 million people a week in Facebook
Wow.
to speak Spanish. 400 million. It was crazy. I mean, I had the times that I was going live in Facebook and I had 40, 50,000 people live watching my videos. It was crazy.
Were you selling
before all
something,
this,
or are you just educating on those
no,
videos?
I know always been like very good educator. People knows me because I always take knowledge and I like to educate people and I like to give people and I like to say this worked for me, this is gonna work for you, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Right? I actually start late in Instagram. I think it's I would start early because we were making so much money with with Facebook. They're like, I don't care about the rest. I start late in Instagram because probably I would have a lot of millions and millions in Instagram. I start later, but I don't regret it because I've been learning a lot in this process as an entrepreneur. I will not call myself an influencer, and an entrepreneur and a marketer. I have knowledge, I have the power to help people transform their lives, but I've been using this to actually create something that makes the difference in the world and to monetize, and to really bring an income to our family.
Well, a lot of people that do this, they do it for the money. Like the guy that grabbed you by the hand and drug you over to show you, they really don't care about the end result. They just, let's make a bunch of money as fast as we can. But it sounds like you are different on this. You actually have, it's a passion and you really enjoy the change in life. The money is great, and definitely that's not something that you look down on, but it seems that you're getting more satisfaction out of changing people's lives and helping people discover their true self than you are in making the money.
In
It
2017,
just comes natural.
yeah.
Afterwards.
Well, I like the money because money helps me to do my purpose in life, which is I want to feed 1 million kids. We'll start this passion 7 years ago. But I can tell you this. In the beginning, it was just money, money, money. And I have cancer in 2017. I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And it was the point of my life that I went for this desert for almost 3 years. What money can cure me, money can help me be better. And I understood one purpose. And this is what all my business is about, this philosophy. It's about these 4 F's that I call is fitness, which is your nutrition, sleeping well, eating well, movement, family, because if you don't have your family in order and everybody's in the same direction, this is why Jeff and I are partners, are in the same direction. We have the same goals. His goals, my goals, no, it's our goals. Our money is not his money or my money, it's our money. So we understood this, and the relationships go there, right, with my kids and with my other family. And then it's financials. If you don't have money, how you create the purpose that you want to create? How do you bring the kingdom of God to the planet, Or if you don't have the money, you don't sell something, how are you gonna build schools? How are you gonna feed these kids, right? And the most important one is faith. You can have all the money in the world. You can be super fit, super fitness, and even have a husband that you don't even like it, but you have a husband, right? But you don't have God in your life. You don't have that part. That part. So when you die, where are you gonna go? I know for sure that I want to go to heaven. I don't want to go to hell. Because go to hell is not fun. I want to help here in this planet, and it's not fun. I can imagine how it is go to hell, really seriously out there. So to me, it's like after 2017, God, I was recovering in 2019. I got a double mastectomy. I remember wake up right for the surgery. I remember the window was open. The sky the sky was blue. The heaven, it was really blue. That day I understood that God gave me the victory. And I say, God, that every single day that I get out, please, I want to serve in you. I want to lead my life for service. So for that moment, I understood that I have a purpose, that I have a mission, that everything that I create, that everything that I do is to make the kingdom here in this earth. And that's what I live for. All those awards that you see in the back, yes, it's cool. But when I get every December to bring toys, clothing, food, shoes to those kids, when I get every week to receive the menus and see them eating every single day, that makes my life. That makes my happiness. Or when I get the testimonies for my girls, that they always, my kids get back, they're not drug addicts anymore, they start going to church, you saved my life, you saved my marriage. That's the real reward.
How has the marketing changed over the years in the last 14 years? I know from your cancer, your outlook and your position on it has changed and your mission has changed a little bit. But how does the way you guys market this as a misfit, how has that changed from those early days of all that organic reach on Facebook to now what you're having to do to maintain it? What's different now? And I just saw Gary Vee. I saw a video of him yesterday, and he was like talking to a bunch of ad execs, and he's like, quit spending money on ads. Never, everything needs to be organic, and only if it's organic and it works organically should you actually spend money on ads and put ads behind it. It's like, let the people tell you what they want and let it go organic. And he's making a big deal. And he's like, there's never been a better opportunity to do that now. But what are you seeing that's evolved or changed that people should be aware of when it comes to growing audiences or getting people to join your mission and to join your community?
It is more difficult day by day to live by organic. I'm telling you, because we have a lot of organic content. We make a lot of content. 80% of our content is organic, is, to helping people, to giving them for free. And 20% is, we ask them to buy something. I think it's a combination of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely the market has been changing so much. The algorithms have been changing every single day, and I moved for, I have different sources of income. I used to make a lot of money for Facebook. A lot of people say, oh, I make all my money on YouTube. I have 1.4 million subscribers on YouTube. I never make zero for YouTube, very little. My ads never work, my Google ads never, I can never figure it out. That so, and now I have an other revenue, source of income revenue, which is TikTok, the TikTok shop. And many people make money for Instagram. Instagram for me is my organic place. It's my place to do community, is my place which, I get to move people around to other different funnels that I have. I just say, yes, organic is amazing if you have a community and if the freaking algorithm work for you. This is why it's so important to start doing whatever the platform tell you to do. Is the platform say it's all about galleries? You got to do galleries. It's all about video. It's all about video. It's all about pictures. It's all about pictures. It's all about stay silent. Stay
Well,
silent.
social media has changed from when you started 14 years ago. It was about your follow. You just said the answer. Well, I got 1.4 million on YouTube and I can't make it work.
Yeah.
That's a fallacy. Everybody talks about followers and subscribers and all that. That used to matter when it was your friends and your network and you're growing it out, and that was the way the social media worked. But now, as people like Gary and others say, it's interest media. Social media is not necessarily the right word. It's now interest media, and these algorithms are showing. They know your interest. Instead of showing it to your friends and your
Yes.
family and whatever, they're showing it to other people that they think might have interest in what you're doing. So it changes the whole dynamic of it. And so that's why you're probably having trouble on YouTube, for example, because that algorithm is not showing it to the right people. And those people that followed you may not be the right people. They may have been at that moment the right people. There's a reason they hit that follow button, but they're not now for where you've moved on to and what your positioning is. So that's the evolving aspect of it. And like you said, though, ads are still important, but it's usually you want to
I
you
live
want
by ads, by
you
the
want
way.
to but on your ads, are you doing it? Are you just are you
We
creating an
spend
ad
like
and then putting it out, or
$200K a
are you
month
doubling
in
down on
ads.
something that worked organically and then amplifying it
No, we spend like 200K in ads in
a month?
Facebook still.
Yeah, but are those ads? Are you creating brand new ads, or are you taking stuff that you knew worked organically and amplifying it with ads?
We do different strategies. I do, for example, I do live videos as in ads, you
You do
know,
what videos?
live videos. Like, for example, I do a live video in Facebook, strategically, planning to look organic,
Uh
but
huh.
it's a sale. And I use that as an ad. And
Okay.
for that video, I make like 10 entries to the video different to put it on front of the ad, on front of the live video to
Mm-hmm.
use it as an ad to know that the ones that are like good, right? For example, that's with those ads like Facebook. Um, Another thing I discovered lately with TikTok Shop is not about it's not about like you say, it's not about fans, it's not about who community. Because in TikTok Shop, I've been seeing this because I'm doing it really well and I'm selling pretty well in there. It's called traffic. It's how you can attract this person that you have in attention 3 seconds. How can you grab them? And one of the strategies that I've been applying, and this is working really well, this is how we're growing 100,000 followers, Instagram, TikTok, is by, first of all, I don't use communities like social communities, community managers anymore. I use copywriters, people that know how to do copy. Second of all, I do researchers, people that know how to research interests. Now we live in the era that these platforms show to us what is working. So I don't invent anything. Everything is created. It's already there. You just have to grab it and put it in your own words. Do a good hook, good structure in your post, and boom, and it works. I've been trying this. I grab videos in Russian and some of my friends, some of the Latino friends, they create these little softwares. They grab like the most viral contents in whatever topic you put, and there's a video, for example, in Russian or in French or in English, and they give you exactly the translation, right? The script. And you go and say exactly the same way how the person said the video, and the video goes viral. It's crazy. So what I'm saying with this is we don't need to invent anything. Everything is already there. All the content that we need. Many people say, no, it's doing You don't have to. You don't need to. It's right there. It's already made. I have a friend that do 200 videos every Tuesday using that method. And she's super
200.
viral. 200 videos. She just sit with the same outfit with a green screen, and they put it in a teleprompter, and she does 200 videos, and they all go viral.
Hey, Kevin King and Norm Farrar here. If you've been enjoying this episode of Marketing Misfits, thanks for listening this far. Continue listening. We got some more valuable stuff coming up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast player, or if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, make sure you subscribe to our channel because you don't want to miss a single episode of the Marketing Misfits. Have you subscribed yet, Norm?
Well, this is an old guy alert. Should I subscribe to my own podcast?
Yeah, but what if you forget to show up one time and it's just me on here? You're not going to know what I say.
I'll buy you a beard and you can sit in my chair too. And you can go back and forth with one another. Yikes! But that being said, don't forget to subscribe, share it. Oh, and if you really like this content, somewhere up there's a banner. Click on it and you'll go to another episode of the Marketing Misfits.
Make sure you don't miss a single episode because you don't want to be like Norm.
Oh.
So let's say what Gary say, organic. Yeah, but he took whatever he was already viral and redoing it.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Mm-hmm.
And it's working.
So how does that affect what you teach then? I mean, if you have your strategy and your system, do you make the viral fit the system or the system fit the viral?
No. One thing we have to be clear here is you have to really have clear who is your avatar. I think this is the biggest mistake people make with their accounts, and this is why their accounts don't grow. You don't need to grow an account, millions of fans for make millions of dollars. You only need 1,000 people for make $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
They follow you, they be your raving fan, and you know that.
I call that raving fan, 1,000 raving fans.
Yeah, that's the strategy, and that's true. But as you really understood your avatar and you know what are the pains because they have their hair on fire, and you have here the stinter, every time you say, if you have this and this and this, they're going to raise their hand. And as you say, and I have this that put the fire down, they're going to pay whatever it costs in order to get this fire down. And you know what? It's true. Once I started, because I used to do this viral content. Yes, I give you fans, but those fans don't work for anything. So this is why we have to be very intentional. What people we want to attract. And this is really the people that want to be in my community, and this is the people that want to buy the things that I have for them. I don't want anybody. I don't want the whole world. I just want the people that really want my stuff. So the moment I start concentrate, women over 40, they're going in the same crisis I go, have flashes, they don't sleep, they're constipated, They don't want to have sex with their husband. They have a really bad mood. And I start talking to them directly, immediately. The reaction, it was like, boom. And all the things that I do, even I used to have like supplements. I took all those supplements out and I create exactly the supplements that they need. So when I say, hey, if you have flashes, this and this, I have this. And this is do this and this and this and this. And did it for me in 3 months. Everybody wanted. So I think this is what we really have to think about it. What is our avatar want? Who is our avatar? It's not everyone. Because even if they are in the same age they make them not like you. They make them like your hair. They make you like the way that you talk. There's people that come to my life and they say, I really hate your voice. You take so long to explain something, but there's something about you that don't let me go. And I always say to them, please, I love haters because thanks to you, I got a lot of people that I get to reach a lot of people. You don't have to stay here. It's a lot of people talking about the same stuff. Go. I give you permission to go. I give you my blessing to go. And they don't go. They stay.
And unfortunately, it's that time that we have to go.
Yay. No.
Oh, we're having too much fun, Norm.
I know. So we do have a question for all of our misfits. At the end of this podcast, we always like to know if they know a misfit.
Oof. I know many misfits. Do you want names?
Or you could talk later. It doesn't matter.
Yes, I think I have a list.
Oh, good.
I've been for a while. Anyone people need like people for podcasts or content, they always call me. They're like, Ingrid. I'm like, yeah, I make a list for you. The good people, good stories, because you want to bring people that have good stories.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we'll reach out and we'll get your list from you.
Yay.
So if people want to find out more about what you're doing or follow you or check out some of your shows or your products, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, you know what? I actually create one Instagram in English. So it's Ingrid Macher Official. So we can probably chat from there. But most of my stuff is in Spanish. So yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on and sharing your story. This has been great.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me. And if you out there need a coach, you need to start. You don't know how. I have the tools for you. And I know how it feels be alone. So don't be alone. Don't be a stranger. And just DM me. Ingrid Macher Official in Instagram. And here I can help you.
Well, thanks, Ingrid. I appreciate you coming on, and I'll see you around at Driven or somewhere.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank
you. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
So, Norm, I think that's what you need to do. You need to go after, start doing an Instagram, like find your niche, find your people. So you can say, hey, are you an old guy with a beard and getting food stuck in the beard? This right here will solve the problem. There you go, Norm. That's the answer to all your woes. No, Ingrid's done very well. I mean, it's an amazing story, fighting cancer, losing the weight, and then parlaying that into helping other people and into a business that's making millions of dollars, and recovering from the ashes of a market crash and having to rebuild everything. That's and doing it, in Spanish. I always remember. I think it was Consumer Insights magazine, one of these statistical magazines, about 30 years ago, and they said that, hey, the Hispanic market is underserved in the United States. You need to pay attention to it. And ever since I saw that, it's always been on my mind how much opportunity there is in the Hispanic market, even in the United States, especially, that just gets overlooked. And there's probably a lot of blue oceans out there. Maybe we need to be doing Dragonfish Espanol, Norm.
There we go.
Maybe we're making a mistake not tuning in English. Maybe we need to be doing Dragonfish Espanol. But no, that's awesome. This is the kind of stuff that we bring on. You never know what you're going to hear on the Misfits, and it's a new story and a new angle. That's why we do this. That's why we do this podcast. Every Tuesday, right, Norm?
Every Tuesday. And you can catch us at on our YouTube channel as well at Marketing Misfits Podcast, or the shorts every 3 minutes or less at Marketing Misfits Clips, I think that is.
And we're on the TikTokers or something too, right now?
I think that's what it's called. Yes. And it's doing great.
TikTokers, the clock thing or whatever they call it.
Yeah, that thing. The double T's, as the cool people say.
Hey, if you like this episode, be sure to share it. If you know someone that could benefit from hearing Ingrid's story, share this episode with them, or hit that like button, or subscribe to the channel so you get notified when new episodes come out so you don't miss a single thing. Hey, we'll be back again next week with another episode. You never know who it may be on the Marketing Misfits.
All right. We'll see you later.
Take care.